Good evening, everybody. Good night, or no, good evening, I think is what you say when you say hello.
Talking Dirty
with Maestro.
Not just numbers,
not just stats.
it's about what they mean.
I'm going to send to you the information.
Talking Dirty.
Hello and welcome to Talkin Dirty with your boy. Me. Hey fam, how's everybody doing? Got the end of the prep season officially through now. We're moving into work for the next season. A lot of planning and stuff is going on, trying to put everybody in the best position to succeed and have the success they want and have the engagement that they want in order to move forward. That's probably the most important thing that's being tossed around SimWorld headquarters right now. This episode of Talking Dirty is more about a Maestro moment of Maestro needs to learn his lesson. And much to Rick Blaze's probably disappointment, it's not about the draft. I said what I said. Sorry, had to get that in there. The coaching changes and what that sort of means with the resettling of SimWorld Prep. There was a time when there was one or two changes that would be a big deal. Now that's obviously not the case. Coach Pope, Trey Pope resigns, taking on in many ways a larger role in participation and support. Coach Bradley is out, despite the noise that sort of came with that. Coach Lee, not only has his reasons, but he also knows what he needs to deal with and will definitely it's not made any secret about that, because it's something that I think a lot of us forget, that coaches, we're so used to coaches being these monolithic figures that sort of last forever as the program grows and changes and goes forward, that coaches are people too. Of course, Coach Asad Drayton, my man, is going to Syracuse. I want to get it. I'm going to keep saying this until it's not true, which I'm not even worried about. Syracuse is going to finish above 500 next season under his tutelage. I said what I said. Yeah, I know I make fun of Coach Drayton all the time, but I make fun of everybody. So that's not a reason to say that. If you think I don't like Coach Drayton, you're not paying attention. How much I respect him and what he does and what he brings to the table. You're obviously not listening to what Maestro has been saying about my man. And I really do, in my heart of hearts, believe that not only are they going to win one game, as certain other similar personalities have said, but I think they're going to be finished above 500. Yeah, I said it again. And I know that's another reason for Rick Blaze want to do a wellness check on me outside of what I said for the draft. It's another story. Don't worry about it. It's all good. So, real quick, let's talk about the idea of these coaches and sort of what they mean, right? So we have these figures that become the recruiters, the guiders, the teachers, the de facto parental leadership at certain points, and also that muse that guides you toward the other end of your career. And that's a good thing, right? Because that shows another sort of relationship in humanity. Maybe that's too grand scheme to talk about here. So you guys know how to shut Maestro down. Say, Maestro, back it up. I'm going to listen to you, right? But the reality of that context is we also have to be willing to understand that as players, as fans, as people who love the game, we have to be willing to accept that change. And here's where Maestro needs to chill out comes in. When I looked at the changes this season and what's going on right now, we're going to talk about a few of them, coming up. The reality of coaches also have a plan. And no matter how we might try to look at it, no matter how we try to examine it, short term, long term, or whatever, they always do. Rare are the coaches who get to a situation, say, this is a situation I want to be in forever. The reality of being in a situation where this is okay. I put it this way: if I get a chance to go back and coach one of my alma maters or my initial alma mater, would I be happy being there forever? Oh, there's a part of me that probably would say yes. This is where that part of my life started in a way, whether it was high school or college. But also the reality of, as time changes, so do I need to be able to change. But more importantly, the reality of, am I looking for the next mountain to climb? Because some people might say, you're settling, that means you don't want to grow, and that's not true. Or you're just being okay with this because it's your favorite. Part of that might be true, but it doesn't necessarily mean that a person is settling. Want to take any institution, no matter how you get there, to the next level is a goal of any coach. No matter what their ties to it may or may not be. It might be emotional, it might be um, alumnistic, being an alum, or it might be, financial, whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the people like myself, I'm going to speak for myself, and those of us who look at coaches as used to being like these Mount Rushmore type figures that are always on campus, always around, we have to recognize that. And sometimes we have to accept that for what it is. For instance, a coach like Gamino Dominguez, who has openly said, I know where I want to go coach. Okay. So he's not hiding it. Certain respect should come with that. Look, yes, I'm here now. Yes, I'm doing 100% now, but I also know that my eye for myself is this next level. Much like his players are saying, yes, I'm here now, but I'm also looking for my eye, my place is looking at that level. So again, Maestro has to come around on this. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think it's really good to have that transparency. So let's talk about some of the new coaches and what they want to bring to the table on this break.
Thank you for listening to the Maestro. Want to get involved? Bring it.
Drop in discord.gg/SimWorld Hoops.
If you have the brain, join as a coach. If you have the game,
join as a player.
see the game,
be
be the
the
game.
game.
Now, back to the Maestro.
Sorry. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. And welcome back to Talkin' Dirty with your boy. So merry-go-round. Some end-season changes for coaches this year, some end-of-season changes for coaches this year. And I think all of them in their way are going to be interesting. Southeast Select has Sean Harper. In many ways, an unknown to a known here. What is he going to bring to the table? Is he going to restructure how the team strategizes? Is he going to restructure how the team plays? He has his vision. He absolutely knows what it takes to win. Is his language going to translate over to his new team in order to put them in a position to do so? The idea of Southeast Select being a name, known, and wanted team throughout its history in SimWorld Prep is not a surprise. That they have a new coach this way, to some might be. Does that mean that they're going to have a stumbling year? I do not think so, not under Coach Harper. And the how this is going to play out, I think, is going to make for the. I'm going to say they're going to be one of the front runners, if not the front runner, for whatever division they fall in as SimWorld Prep is being reorganized. So, Coach Harp, I'm sorry, I just gave you a nickname, Coach. That was not meant out of disrespect, but looking forward to see what you're going to do. Showtime with Coach Corbin Ford. This is an unknown to an unknown. Showtime has never seemed to have had a stable identity, a stable presence, and a stable awareness since I've been around SimWorld Prep. They've had lots of talent, and the talent has always seemed, the organization of that talent has always seemed to fallen short of everyone's expectations. Corbin Ford walking into that unknown has an opportunity to totally reset the slate, as there is no concretized format of organization there or concretized culture of success there that he also has to build upon or wade through or develop around. So to me, and I said this before about his hiring, I see that as an advantage for him. I see that as an advantage for him being able to go in, take an organization replete with talent, and be able to move it to his vision with the least amount of obstruction. That makes sense. The how that's going to play out, we'll see. We'll see where they line up. Because of who they've had on the team before, they've always seemed to be the target team. And I'm not saying that's going to go away, because certain things just don't go away. Uh, I think Coach Ford is the right person to handle that. I think he's the right person to take that target, turn it into firewood for their ambitions and what they want to do. And I'm really looking forward to see how he's going to mostly structure their organization to put them in a position to have the success that I think he sees for them. Bay Area Breakers, Coach Brody Knight. That is I'm just going to say that's a known to a known. Already there, already knows the culture, already understands what's going on there, already is acute to what works and what does not work with Bay Area. So he's a known factor, and the reality of the team being a known factor. So here we have known to known, and I don't expect a drop off. I don't think anyone expects a drop off. I think there is a thought that there might be a resettling. Um, Unfortunately, this puts Coach Knight in the position of, unfairly, puts Coach Knight in the position of, dude, you already got a winner. You've been there. You know what it takes for it to be a winner. If you're not a winner, your fault. That's unfair, because you have to, I should say you have to. One must believe that Coach Knight has his vision. He's seen some things that he probably liked, seen some things he probably didn't like, and seen some things that he said, you know what, I would do this way. And that's what makes coaches coaches. Coaches always have their own DNA, their own fingerprint that they leave behind on a team because of their vision of how they see things work. So for him, I think that's going to be his judgment. I think is going to be unfair compared to everyone else. And lastly, Queen City Kings with Kendall Joyner. That hire, we have again, I think, another situation of relatively unknown to unknown. Queen City Kings had a hard time developing an identity this season. Queen City Kings have had a hard time developing an identity since I've been watching them, and I like the Queen City Kings, but I never knew who I was going to get. And I think that's going to be Coach Joyner's largest step to take, in terms of getting them an identity that makes them functional from game in to game out, tournament in to tournament out. Because that relationship of what they are able to do. Again, never been a question of talent. Nowhere in SimWorld Prep has it been a question of talent. So let's just get that out of the way. But never been a question of talent, and more importantly, never been a question of are they capable of performing at this level. Unlike you see some teams that sometimes would get manhandled back before, like for instance, one of the teams that I hated to see leave was our Middle Eastern team. But sometimes they would get manhandled to the point of people would say, and rightfully so in a lot of cases, should they really be in SimWorld Prep? And that's so unfair. But Queen City Kings never felt that far, but man, sometimes it felt like they were pretty close to it. But then they'd have a game that would make you go, wow, there they are, right? So let's see if Coach Jordan is able to put them in a position to not only be successful consistently across the table, but probably more importantly for them, be in a position to truly be a contender, not always spoken of in the dark horse conversation. And even in the dark horse conversation, let's be honest, they were never like one of the first teams that would come up. It would always be, well, we see this team, this team, this team. And oh, by the way, Queen City Kings were probably a really surprise team if they do X, Y, and Z. What do you think? How do you feel about the coaching changes this year, this season, this upcoming season? How do you feel that's going to shape the SimWorld Prep season? Do you feel that the coaches are given what they needed to sort of put their vision together? Do you feel in some cases the coaches are coming in to the table at the right point, too late maybe? Come on, guys, holla at your boy. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know how you want to think about it. Let me know how you want to talk about it. Let's go. And let's have some fun with it. Appreciate it, you guys. Everybody stay safe. Do what you got to do. Remember, never let Jason Bourne borrow your car.
Like I need to talk to somebody.
Thank you for listening to Maestro.
Thank you again for checking out Maestro. Drop a tag below and give us a piece of your mind. See you next time.
Well, thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.